everyone, this is Jake Adams, CPA, and welcome to today's video. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about Facebook and LinkedIn pages and groups and lives and how they all work together. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the 30-day marketing challenge here inside of the tax savings team. And hopefully you knew that because you're halfway through it. And today we're going to be focusing again on marketing and bringing in these ideal clients into your business. Give me just a second here. As always, make sure that I am live here on Facebook and we are ready to go. Looks like we are, and we are good to go. Awesome. John, always great to have you live here with me. All right. So cool. All right. So what we're going to be doing today is talking about social media marketing and how social media marketing can help your business. So this is really, really important. Before we go into this, I want to make a quick disclaimer on this, that this is going to take a significant amount of time. So if you have time on your hands, please watch this video through all the way to the end, learn it, understand it, and then watch it again, and then watch it again, because it's really, really going to be kind of this flow in this system, and I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. So if you don't have a lot of time, if you've got staff, well, I guess your staff could do this too. So if your staff has time, but if you're just if you're over your head, like I don't have a lot of time to invest in social media marketing and getting new clients and bringing new clients in, do not watch this video, right? Because it's not going to be helpful for you. If you say, hey, I've got more money than time, then well, how do you go to another video where we're talking about ads and leverage and using money to give you leverage and money to put you in front of clients as opposed to your time, right? So again, with the caveat, you have to have time to be able to do this, or your staff has to be time, or you have a staff member that's dedicated to marketing that's going to go ahead and do this, right? So you need to make sure that you have time. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Now I'm going to use these kind of interchangeably, Facebook and LinkedIn, because they both work very similarly. As far as the connections and the friends, the terminology is a little bit different here and there, but the concepts are the same and how they kind of work. Okay, so this is going to be in practice, and then we'll do another video to follow up, actually doing the screen share, and you can kind of see how this looks in practice, actually looking at the screens and how this works. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do when we're looking at social media marketing is making sure that we're social, and you can only be social with your friends. Or with Facebook's case, it's friends, and LinkedIn, it's connections. So your goal here is to make as many friends and connections as you can, as possible. So that's kind of our goal, is to increase our friends and our connections. So in Facebook, we're going to increase our friends. And then in LinkedIn, we're going to increase our connections. So how do you increase your friends in Facebook? Well, it's essentially just finding people, even on the side of Facebook, there's a column that says, add friends. And that's essentially what you want to do, is you want to just click add friend. Now, typically people will only add you as a friend if you've got some mutual friends in common. So that's the thing, is you got to start with people that you know that are already in that industry, or that already have those people as friends, and then add more people and add more people as you get more influence, as you get more friends, right? Because that's the thing, is some people look at new friend requests that come in, and they're going to deny them if you've got fewer than 5 friends, or if they don't have any friends that they know in common. So that's the thing, is you're going to want to look for someone in common. LinkedIn works exactly the same way. They actually won't let you reach out to anyone that's a 3rd-degree connection or further, right? They say, hey, you've got to know someone that knows someone for us to connect you, unless you pay extra for their premium package, which you can certainly do that if you wanted to. But again, will those people that you're reaching out to know you and understand that? Maybe, maybe not, right? So in either way, when you connect with people on Facebook or connect with people on LinkedIn, you have the ability to send them a message. Now, it's really important that you send them a personalized message. You don't just send them a canned response. I can't tell you how many times that I've gone onto LinkedIn, and I don't check my LinkedIn that often, but when I go on LinkedIn and I see someone that's messaged me, hey, Jake, I saw your background in the accounting industry, interested, or I was interested in your background in the accounting industry, something like that, right? And I've got at least 50 or 100 of them very similar to that. And it's like, guys, I don't really practice accounting anymore, right? I see what you're doing and I see it's a canned message and I'm just going to deny it. I'm going to block it and I'm going to not respond to it. But if someone reached out to me and they said, hey, Jake, I see you're a coach for the coach for tax professionals and you're looking to help them grow their business, I'd love to connect with you. You say, hey, they actually did some research on my profile. They actually want to connect with me and they understand that I'm not the typical CPA, which is doing taxes, right? And they want to connect with me for a reason, for a mutual reason. That's the kind of things, that's the kind of personalized things that you want to put into your message. So whether you do that on Facebook or LinkedIn, that is really, really important. The other cool thing that you can do that I see a lot of people doing right now is to actually send a video message when someone connects with you. And you have that ability in Facebook and in LinkedIn. Facebook is easier than LinkedIn, but a video message, and you can actually send them a video message saying, it's super easy. You just go onto your phone and say, hey, Chris, thanks for connecting with me. I just wanted to introduce myself, and some sort of thing you have in common and something you'd like to talk about, right? A call to action. And the call to action should never be, hey, buy my stuff. It should always be you providing value, right? So you should say, hey, I just finished up this really cool cheat sheet on the top 10 tax mistakes that small business owners make. Or if you have niche down to chiropractors, right? The top 10 tax mistakes that chiropractors make. Or, 10 commonly missed tax things that dentists make or something like that, right? So you can say, hey, I've just finished this up and I'd love to send it to you. What's the best email to send this to? Right? And they say, oh, here's my email. You've just got an email, which is pretty darn cool, right? And then once you get that email address, not only are you connected with them on Facebook and LinkedIn, but now you have an email address that you can do email marketing to as well. So I hope that makes sense. Cool. All right. So how do you do that? So friends and connection on LinkedIn. And again, we're kind of going to go back and forth because they're very, very similar. So try to do a video if possible. Video if possible, which is really, really impactful, right? Because people are more likely to watch the video, they're more likely to connect with the video, but it also strengthens your brand, right? So who are you connecting to friends and connections with? It's your ideal client. So going back to week 1 where we talked about your ideal client avatar, the ICA, the target market, those are the people that you want to connect with because you have the most value that you can share with them, right? So that's your goal. Your goal is to connect with as many people as possible. So the strength in numbers, you really, really want to focus on as many connections, as many friends as you can get. So once you've done that, once they're in your inner circle, once they're in your friends, if you will, the Facebook and LinkedIn, their algorithms are going to say, hey, this person, just connect with them. They're probably going to want to learn more about this person. So what's going to happen is your content that you're putting out into your Facebook and your LinkedIn profile and pages is going to be at the top of their algorithms or their news feeds and their things, because their Facebook and LinkedIn is assuming that because this person is just kind of introduced to you and they're learning more about you for the first time, they're going to want to learn more about you, or they're going to want to see more from you. So here's the thing. So as you're doing this, you've got to do another thing in parallel with it, which is creating some really good, valuable content inside your posts, right? So in LinkedIn and Facebook, you can post things, but essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do value posts. Value posts. Now, what is a value post? Well, a value post is basically saying, hey, small business owners, hey, chiropractors, dentists, whoever you want to target, did you know that by hiring your kids in your business, you can save up to $6,000 a year, right? And maybe a couple snippets about how that works, or who's doing this. If you have the hook story and offer already done, this is great to put that in there, right? So as many hook stories and offers as you can inside of here, that's really what you want to focus on your value posts. Now, I want to make one specific caveat to that hook story and offer. You don't want to push the offer too hard in a value post because you don't want to come across as salesy. However, you do want to let them know that you can help them, right? So maybe your offer on a value post is, if you have kids between the ages of 7 and 16, reach out to me so I can share how this tax secret can help you, something like that, right? So again, try not to make it a strong call to action, because especially when you're just getting to know someone, you don't want to come off too salesy or spammy or sleazy, salesy, too strong, too fast, right? So value posts are critical. Now you might say, well, Jake, that I've got, 10 tax mistakes, right? Well, what do I do after that? What if I do after 10 posts? How quickly should I do those posts? Well, sprinkle in interesting things about you, about the industry, about other things through there. And they don't all have to be really, really strong value bomb posts, because we want to make sure that we're putting things sporadically through Facebook and LinkedIn throughout the day, because different people are on LinkedIn and Facebook at different times throughout the day, right? Myself, I focus a lot between 9 and 10 o'clock PST every morning, and then I might check in the afternoon. But there might be some people that are just kind of constantly on it all day long. So, and you never really know how many people are going to be interacting with your content. You can kind of see a ticker number, but you never really know exactly who is going to be interacting with your content. So the more content you can put out throughout the day, the better. So I'm going to put value posts here, but you could also, I don't want to say non-value posts, because all posts are valuable, but I'm just going to put a kind of miscellaneous posts, if you will, right? I'm going to put miscellaneous posts. So what is a miscellaneous post? Well, miscellaneous post, maybe you work with lawyers. So maybe something interesting about the lawyer profession. And then these are really, really easy to do. You just go into Google and you just type in, news for lawyers or news for attorneys or something like that, and then post something interesting about their profession. Because the more connected you can seem, and the more connected you are to their profession, the better, and the better that they're going to want to work with you. They say, hey, this person is an expert in, with attorneys, right? Because they're posting stuff about attorneys, so they must really like working with attorneys because they want to share this information to attorneys for attorneys. That kind of makes sense, right? So I'm going to put miscellaneous posts. These can also be posts about yourself and your family. These are really important because social media, right? You want to be social. So, if you just took your kids to the park, post something about taking your kids to the park. You might say, hey, that's silly, no one cares, but people really care. Especially if your ideal client has kids between the ages of 7 and 10, and you have kids between 7 and 10, you say, hey, I just took the kids to the park. They're like, hey, I took my kids to the park yesterday, right? And what you've done is you've made that connection, right? So social, keep that social media going. How many of these should you do? You should do about 3 of these a day, and then about 3 of these a day. And then here's the interesting thing. You might say, well, hey, after, let's say I got 3 of these and I got 3 of these. Well, after, 3 days, I'm going to run out of stuff, right? Well, after 3 days, what you could do is you can just go back to this original stuff. You can delete this post, wait a couple hours, and then repost it. Oh, you can do that? Yeah, of course you can do that. Facebook and LinkedIn is okay with that, right? So what you're doing is you're recycling the content, because the algorithms here for Facebook and LinkedIn, when you bring in new friends and new connections, they're going to be the strongest for the first couple days. So they're going to see your stuff. They get a better chance of, and higher potential of seeing your content and seeing your posts after you've connected with them or after you've made friends with them over the first couple days. So after a couple days, these people are going to stop seeing, more than likely, they're going to stop seeing and interacting with your content, but you've then put in new people into that funnel or into your profile, if you will, right? So those people, they could go back and they could see other posts that you've done, which is great. But then also, like I said, after 3 or 4 days, you can start to delete some of the older stuff and then repost it, so it's more top of mind. And a lot of people only see stuff that's in their news feed or only see stuff that pops up in their notifications. A lot of people won't go back to prior days or prior, postings more than 5 or 6 or 10 down. So that's the thing. So more likely, those people aren't going to be interacting with that content or not going to be seeing that content anyway. So it's okay to delete that bottom stuff and then bring it back to repost it and then bring it back up to the top. Cool. All right. So value post, miscellaneous posts, that's your thing, right? So just remember the 3. So do 3 of these a day, 3 of these a day for 3 days, and then after the 3 days, delete that posting and then recycle it, right? And then delete and recycle. Delete and repost. Cool, right? All right, so that's your goal, right? Is to just keep that content fresh and new and be sharing that with your clients. Or potential clients, right? Because that's a real goal. All right, so now you can say, okay, Jake, this is great. What else do I need to do? Well, one thing that people are going to do when they start to see you and when they see your friend request or your connection request, the first thing they're going to go to is they're going to go to your profile. So you need to make sure that your profile speaks really well to you and to your business. Now, there's 3 really important things that I want to focus on, and they're all kind of in the same general area. Like I said, I'm going to go to do a screenshot and a video walkthrough of this tomorrow, but I want to kind of give you what this looks like in concept, right? So in here, in your Facebook and your LinkedIn looks very, very similar, but essentially here in Facebook, you've got 3 main things that you want to focus on. Here, this is called your cover art. Here you've got a picture. All right, so this is you. Hi. And then this is actually you've got two things here. You've gotten a little bio and you've got a picture. Okay. So I'm going to go through these things one at a time, and it's very, very important to realize that all of these kind of work in sync together. So first of all, your cover art is really important because your cover art can have a little bit of text to it, but not a lot of text to it. If it's got too much text, if it's really text heavy, Facebook will see that, or LinkedIn will see that, and they'll say, hey, this isn't art, this is text, and they'll kick it out. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a little bit of text in here, and the text that you do have is a strong call to action. So let me give you an example. So good cover art should say something like helping chiropractors, athletes, and naturopaths save money on taxes, right? So something like that. All right. And essentially what you want to do is, yeah, this is kind of text heavy. This might get kicked back, but you can change around the font size and things like that. Maybe you only want to focus on one thing, right? So maybe instead of 3 things, you just want to focus on 1 or 2 things. That's fine, right? So text heavy, you want to maybe make the shrink down the font size or whatever. Again, if it gets kicked back, but you can push the limits and see what Facebook or what LinkedIn will actually go ahead and prove, right? So helping chiropractors, athletes, naturopaths save money on taxes. If that's your goal, that's your goal. You want to really, really kind of have a quick, call to action, quick, blah, this is what I do, right? And then call to action is click here for more info. So you can say, click here for info, more info, right? And then they say, well, where do I click? Do I need to have a button? No. Because what happens is when you click anywhere on this image, what happens is another sidebar opens up, and then you can have as much text as you want on the sidebar. So as long as they click here, a sidebar opens up, and you can have as much text as you want. And then you can also have a link in there. So you have a link in there. Where does that link go? It goes to your funnel. We'll cover that in a later video. Don't worry about it. All right. So cover art, number 1. You can say, hey, Jake, I don't have any experience with cover art whatsoever. Maybe you want to, so here, let me give you two examples, right? So let's say example number 1, you don't have any creative bones in your body or juices in your body. And you're like, just want to hire someone to do it. Just go onto Fiverr.com or post in this group. We've got lots of people inside the group that have connections to graphic artists and graphic designers. So post in the group or go onto Fiverr.com and say, hey, I need some Facebook cover art. And this is what I wanted to say. And they'll whip it up for you for anywhere from $5 to $50 in about 1 to 4 days, right? Usually that's about average. You can go into our group and you can post in the comments and say, hey, I need some cover art made, and people will refer people that they've done work as well. So either way, you can go Fiverr or post inside the group. Someone will help you out. So cover art, number 1. Number 2, your profile picture. Your profile picture should be just of you, and it should be very business oriented, very business focused. Because yeah, it's social. It'd be great if you had your kids or whatever. But really what we want to do is focus on you as the business owner, as the expert, as the professional. So with all of your images here, I always recommend just having just of you. And professional, sure, business casual, however way you want to do it, that's what I really recommend. Okay. Your bio should be short and sweet, and it should kind of echo what you have here. You can have a little bit more information on there, but again, it should all be brand consistent. It shouldn't, in your bio, you shouldn't say, I help dentists save money on taxes when you don't have anything about dentists right here, right? You can say, here you can say, I help people in the health and fitness space save money on taxes, right? So if that was in your bio and it echoes what we have here, that's the important thing. Brand consistency throughout, and it should echo what you have here. A lot of this stuff you can also repurpose and put the exact same thing in Facebook as LinkedIn. It's really, really simple, right? So again, we want to make sure that the stuff that we're doing, we can share it in different places. And so that it's not just one and done, we can use it in multiple different places. Okay, the next thing is your picture. Now, if you put 6 or more pictures, actually 2 or more pictures, so if you put 2 or more pictures inside this picture box, you're going to get them pixelated. So you're going to have 2 pictures side by side. If you have more than 6 pictures, it's going to pick 6 pictures, and then it's going to say like a plus more pictures. So what you want to do is not put any pictures there. You want to have just one picture, and that one picture should be what your call to action, or what you should have a lead magnet or some sort of thing that you can give away for free. So do you have a cheat sheet, a top 10 tax mistakes cheat sheet or something like that, right? Or, you know, the 20 tax mistakes that real estate agents make or something like that, right? So something here inside this picture. Again, if you don't have a creative juice in your body, go ahead and go onto one of those places and just say, hey, I need a picture done here. And it should say this. If you do have creative juices in your body and you want to creative bones in your body, you want to go ahead and do creative with this, that's fine. You should use a program like Canva or Design Bold. Just go into those. Some of them are free or really low cost. You can go in and you can design your own cover art and picture. And it's up to you. Then you get exactly what you're looking for. Again, if you don't have any creatives in it, don't feel like you have to do this, just outsource it, right? There's more than enough people out there in the world that are more than happy to create this images and this art for you, right? All right, so that's your focus. That's your focus here. So you got your cover art, you got your picture, you got your bio, you got your picture here, and then your content, right? So your value content, your value posts, and your miscellaneous posts, that's going to be what's going to be populated here. That's what's going to be populated here. So that's the thing, is really what you're doing is when you're looking at this is all very focused, all very distilled, all very focused into your client's avatar, your target market, what they want to see, and information for them. So that's the critical thing. Then you could say, oh, Jake, well, what if I use my personal profile, my Facebook profile for like family, and I don't want to be businessing out? Well, just do this for a couple weeks, get some clients, and then decide if it's right for you, right? Your family will understand if you're posting stuff about your business, right? Because you want to grow your business, and hopefully they want you to be successful, and they understand that you're going to be posting this stuff on Facebook to help grow your business, and they're going to be understanding of that. If not, you can create another profile, right? Create another profile for just this, but don't have too many profiles, because Facebook does not like that. LinkedIn does not like that, and they will go ahead and terminate that. But LinkedIn is easier because you're not going to have family members on LinkedIn that says, what are you guys doing? It's a business channel. People understand that people are doing business on there, right? All right, but Facebook is different. So again, whatever you there's different personality things like that for Facebook. Okay, so again, going through that. Okay, so once we got that, once we're creating these value posts, you might want to say, okay, Jake, what's the next step? I need to do something else, right? And yeah, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into groups. So just like last video yesterday, I was talking about fishing in a pond. You want to find this pond full of the people that you're looking to get access to. So where are these people? Well, in Facebook, they have groups. In LinkedIn, they have groups, right? So if you're looking for entrepreneur accountants, there is a group called the Entrepreneurial Accountants, right? If you're looking for proactive accountants, there's a group called the Proactive Accountants. If you're looking for dentists, there's probably a group called the Proactive Dentists or Entrepreneurial Dentists or things like that, right? So what you want to do is you want to search through Facebook, search through LinkedIn for the groups that are going to have your ideal client, your target market in them. And it's pretty simple, right? So we try to find between 3 to 5 groups. Now, depending on your target market, depending on your groups, you might find 100 groups. That's okay, right? But just focus on 3 to 5 just to get started. You are more than likely going to have to put an application in for a group. Most groups are just kind of open, where you just say, hey, I want to join, and they're like, hey, here you go, right? Some groups are like that, but some groups want an application. So they have a couple questions that they ask you before you join. Make sure you answer those honestly. If they say, if you're joining a group for dentists and they say, well, how many years of dental experience do you have? Don't put 20 years, put 0 years, right? Be open and honest with your goal inside the group. And your goal inside the group is to do what? Value posts. Your role inside the group, let's say it's for a group for entrepreneurial dentists. I'm just throwing it out there, right? So your goal is to provide value for entrepreneurial dentists. How do you do that? Well, providing information about taxes. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do 2 things. You're going to want to do, number 1 is new posts. So you're going to want to post something like a blog article or a quick article or a snippet about taxes or about tax savings or about CFO services or about something, and how these things are going to help their business as it relates specifically to the group that you've joined, right? So I'm going to put here new posts, right? Then inside the new posts, when you do new posts, hopefully some people will comment on that. If you don't have anybody comment on your new posts, what you want to do is you want to reach out, where you want to look into the group and find the conversation starters, find the visual storytellers, find people that are really active inside the group, and you want to reach out to them. And you want to say, hey, I've noticed you're really active in this group. I'd love to provide value and information for the group. I don't want to sell anything, just providing value. How can I do that? Or how can you engage with my posts so that more people will see it? And that's the thing, is if you get someone that's really active in that community to engage with your posts, other people inside the community will see the post more likely, and they'll also more likely to respond to it and have a conversation with it, because someone has already done that first step, that first move. So it's not as challenging making that first move or the first step on someone's post. So make sure you make these posts very conversational, because you want people to engage in those posts. So don't just put something like, I don't know, save $6,000 by hiring your kids in your business. No one's going to there's no conversation that happens after that. It's going to like, oh, okay. But if you say, hey, did you know that you can save up to $6,000 a year on your taxes by hiring your school-aged kids inside your dental practice? Right? Did you know? With a question mark. That creates conversation. People are going to be like, yes, I knew that. My tax person said that. Okay, great. Some people might say, no, I didn't know that. Can you tell me more? And then that's starting the conversation. And they'll say, hey, that's really cool. How can I learn more about that? Starting the conversation, right? So that's the thing, is you want to have this conversational, which is really, really important. Okay, so that's new posts. You can post a couple times a day. Again, don't put any sales content in there. Don't put links to websites, because that ruins the algorithms for those groups. So you want to make sure you're just posting valuable content. No links, no sales, no PM me, nothing like that. Just post value, right? That's what the admins, that was what the group admins and the people in the group are looking for. Conversational. Number 2, you can go back to older posts. So in the sidebar, there's a search feature. You can go into the search feature and you can search for tax or finance or business funding or something like that, right? Anything that you have an affinity to, anything you can help with, go into the search for old posts, right? So you go to the search, little feature on the side of the groups, and you want to search for tax, right? So you're going to go back to older posts. And what you can do is you can kind of revive these older posts by putting in new conversations in there. So what happens is, maybe an older post about taxes happened 6 weeks ago. But by posting something new in there, what it does is the Facebook algorithms pushes that up to the top and says, hey, if someone goes into this group, they're going to see this post because there's new activity on it. And so it pulls it back up and it kind of resurrects the post. So searching for tax or searching for finance or business funding or anything you can help with, go in there and answer that question. And again, full of value. You don't have to put PM me if interested or things like that at the end, because people know that they can do that, right? If you're putting valuable content, if you're putting good information about, business funding or saving money on taxes, things like that, you don't have to put a link to something. You don't have to put PM me. People will see that value and they'll reach out to you. Now, what happens when they reach out to you? What do you think happens? They see your name, they see your value. So what they do, they click on your name. When they click on your name, they go back to here and they'll see that, right? So that's why we set this up. We prime this so that when we're having these conversations and people say, hey, I really like this person. They are an expert in what they're doing. I really want to work with them. How do I get more information about working with them? They click on your name and they see this, right? So then they're going to see this. When they see this, right? When they see that, then they add you as a friend. And that's when this cycle kind of happens, right? Now, anybody that's a friend, anyone who sees you in the groups and goes to your profile and adds you as a friend or connects with you, they're going to more likely see your posts, not only in your personal profile, but also on this group. So they're going to go ahead and see more and more of your content, right? And hey, don't feel bad if you're putting the same post here as here, right? Because there's a pretty good chance that they're not going to see every post that you put, right? Because Facebook's not going to show them every single thing that you post. They're not going to be on Facebook, 10 hours a day, 16 hours a day, consuming every single post. And if they do, they're used to seeing the same kind of similar posts over, right? So don't feel bad about posting the same thing, different places, and people seeing the thing more than once, because there's a really, really good chance that they're not going to see everything more than once, because there's so much content on Facebook and LinkedIn, they're not going to see that. So don't feel bad about posting too much, because it's always better to post too much than not enough. Okay, so that's that, right? So, oh, wow, we've done so much here. What's the next step? So the next step is after you've done this, and once you start to really create a good amount of friends that are joining, that are connecting with you, or like LinkedIn, Facebook friends, connections that are introduced to you, and then you're going to be new friends with them, new connections with them. Now you want to go live, right? So what is going live? Well, essentially in Facebook, LinkedIn, it's the same thing. You just find the go live or the post with live video, and then essentially that's what you want to do, is you want to post here with live video. So, and then this is called live. So why do you want to go live? Well, you want to go live because, especially in Facebook, it pushes that live content, that live video, up to the front of their news feeds, and it pushes it to the top of their notifications. And in some cases, it might even give them a little notification down in the corner of the screen that you're live. So if they've seen your value here, and now they see that now Facebook or LinkedIn gives them a notification that you're doing live video, then they're like, hey, well, this person's creating really good value here. I'd like to get more value from them. Hey, they're going live. Let me see that, right? And more likely they're going to go live. They're going to see that and they're like, oh my gosh, like this is really, really cool. And that's the thing, is this is going to take about 7 to 20 touches or more. It could take more for someone to realize that you're creating a lot of value, that you're the trusted expert, and then they're going to reach out to you to want to work with you. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So what should you do in the live video? Well, you can do anything in the live video, but I really want to focus on these value posts and this miscellaneous stuff, right? Should you go live from the park as you're playing with the kids? Maybe not, right? Maybe that's a better picture than a video. But maybe you want to go live just the same way that I do, maybe with a whiteboard. And you can say, hey, I just, or not even with whiteboard, just go live with your camera. And just say, hey, I'm just working with one of my clients and we saved them this much money by doing this, and I'd love to help you in the same way. Try to go live for about 3 to 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. How many times a day? 3 times a day, right? So the power of 3. If you're not sure how many times to do something or how long to do something, 3. 3 to 5 is really that thing, right? So that's the thing, is if you have the time to be on Facebook all day long, you should be not consuming content, you should be creating content, right? So say it with me. If you got time, you shouldn't be on Facebook consuming content. You should be on Facebook and LinkedIn creating content. Now, here's the thing. What you can do is, once you've done these live videos, you can download these live videos and you can put them onto YouTube. And you can put them onto LinkedIn, or you can do this, or you do different things with it, right? So once you've kind of created this arsenal of videos, you can start posting it other places. And I'll discuss that in another video, being omnipresent with video, which is really, really, really helpful for growing your business. All right. So what should you say in these live videos? Well, the same thing you're going to kind of say in these value posts, right? It's all about kind of saying the same thing, being consistent with your brand message. If you're focused on tax savings and helping people save money on taxes, stay consistent with that message. Keep saying, I help blank do blank, right? So going back to that 30-second promo pitch, that marketing message that I had you do a couple days ago, always go back to that. I am the best blank for blank. Right? I do this for this. This is why you want to work with me. This is how I help you out. All these things, right? So just being consistent with your posting, with your value, with your being in the groups and being present in the groups, and doing the video, right? Just be consistent with it. Keep showing up. And that's the thing, is you only have to show up until you're filled with clients, right? If you do this and you get, 10 new clients worth $50,000 a year, and it takes you, 10, 20 days to do that, right? That's something you could do. If you're like, oh, I don't know, Facebook all day anyway. All right, for 10 to 20 days, be consistent with it, get a bunch of clients, and then say, hey, now I've got the clients, I don't need to do this anymore. And then we can, or now I've got the clients, I've got the cash flow rolling in, I don't need to do this anymore. I can focus on paid advertisements and paid marketing. But if you're like, hey, I'm doing this anyway, I've got time to be on Facebook, I want to be doing this is important for me growing my business, that is the key, right? That's the thing, is if you got the time to do this, then do this, because this organic strategy works really, really well for a lot of people and really helps you connect the dots of that connection using that social media. All right, so I hope that makes sense for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close out this video and start the next one, where I'm going to be talking more about Facebook and LinkedIn marketing. So have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.